The Portland Trailblazers are a team you must keep an eye on as we approach the NBA trade deadline on February 9th. Of course, the contract extension that they have on the table for Jerami Grant, 4 years, $112 million, has not been accepted, but it also has not been declined either by Grant. We'll see what ends up happening there. They have a lot of investment in him already, trading a pick to the Detroit Pistons to bring him in. He's been nothing short of fantastic for them. Lillard has been the only other consistent player on that roster outside of Grant, so they have to get some type of a talent in there in order to get their standing up higher in the to make the postseason, or if they're just going to go ahead and try to build for next season. Are they going to try to get picks, etc.? Those are the kind of the trails that they could go down. They have Josh Hart right now and Yusuf Nurkic on the trade block. We'll see where they're going to go this trade deadline season, or if they're moved at all. Let us know in the comments section where you think the Trailblazers should ultimately go this offseason. Should they buy? Should they sell anyway? Or should they do a little bit of both? We're going to break it all down for you next. Let's start with the big man in the middle, Yusuf Nurkic. He's got 4 years on that contract, including this season, around 15 mil per. He's been very good on the offensive end of the floor. He's a little up and down on the defensive end, but he has added a little bit of a three-point shot to his game so far this year. And while I don't think it's consistent yet, he's at least starting to develop that area of his game. Think back a couple of years ago to where Miles Turner was. Do I think he'll end up as a guy like Miles Turner, kind of a defensive stopper, three-point guy on the offensive end? No, I still think he's going to get the majority of his points down low, and I think he's still going to be about average defensively as far as a rim protector. But he's going to be an interesting name to watch here at the trade deadline because at that $15 million salary, I think they would like to do other things at that center spot and then bring in another scoring power forward. Think back to the days when they had LaMarcus Aldridge. Something like that is what I think they ultimately would like to have happen. Have Jerami Grant slide down to the three. That would probably be their best big man lineup situation if they're able to bring in a center like, say, a JaVale McGee type, somebody who's on a cheaper contract, easily attainable, something like that. I'm a Mavericks fan, so you'll see a lot of Dallas Mavericks references anyway. But as far as the Portland Trailblazers go, Jerami Grant is their best option on the offense anyway, outside of Damian Lillard. Now, everybody wants to say Anthony Simons, Anthony Simons. I'm sorry, he put up a whole bunch of garbage numbers last year without Damian Lillard on a very bad team. You develop bad habits when that happens. You develop losing basketball habits, and we're seeing that continue to play out this year. Simons has certainly taken a step forward, being able to play next to Damian Lillard, and that's good. That's progress, but it still hasn't resulted in W's. Gary Payton was brought over from the Golden State Warriors, 3 years, $29 million. He hasn't exactly been what they had hoped for. I imagine as they get into next season, they're hoping he'll be able to play a full season, get a little bit more comfortable in the new system, etc. But they have some bigger questions on that roster. One of their trade assets that they could move here at the deadline is Josh Hart. He could move possibly to a team that's in a rebuild situation, looking for a veteran, somebody who has some leadership abilities. That's what Josh Hart brings, defensive intensity, but he's not exactly a stopper because of his size. But that doesn't, stop him. He still will try to get something done defensively, but he has to be more scrappy about it. He's not going to be able to guard the LeBrons of the world or the bigger wings, but he should be able to take on some of the smaller guards out there and be able to lock them down a little bit better than most of the other defenders in the NBA. But he should be a nice piece here at the deadline. Do I think he'll be traded for a first-round pick? Heck no. We're probably talking about a couple of seconds, maybe 3 seconds. Think back to the Rui Hachimura deal. I think we're looking something similar here for him. Hachimura is more of a slasher, 3-and-D type player. I think he had a little bit more value than a Josh Hart does, but I think the youth of a Hart might make a team willing to give up an extra second-round pick to get it done. Teams like the Pistons, the Orlando Magic, somebody who could use a guard like that are the teams that I would expect to be interested in a guy like Josh Hart. Teams that are not necessarily in playoff contention see something in him that could help build their team to become one of their a little bit better as far as their guard rotation. Maybe push them into that play-in tournament. The Orlando Magic have a couple of 20-point scorers, really young roster. They're looking for some veteran leadership from a guard spot. I think Josh Hart would be a nice fit there. But the biggest piece that could move at the deadline here for the Portland Trailblazers, I'm not going to mention Damian Lillard, is Jerami Grant. If they can't get that extension done and they're fearful they may lose him for nothing in free agency, it'd be better to go ahead and trade him now at the deadline and see what you can get. I still think the relationship is very strong between team and player. I think the ultimate goal of getting a long-term deal done with Jerami Grant will ultimately get done. But if you make the right offer, come correct with, say, an overwhelming package for Portland, they can't turn it down, something like that, then I think Jerami Grant could move. Now, as far as Damian Lillard, that type of a trade's going to have to go wait until the offseason. If it's going to happen at all, I don't think it will there either. Unless he literally requests a trade and says, I'm sitting out until you trade me, something like that is the only way I see Damian Lillard being moved. I know there's a lot of teams out there that could use a guard like him. The Clippers are said to be looking for a point guard. The Dallas Mavericks are looking for another ball handler. He has a relationship with the GM there, Nico Harrison. A number of teams out there could use a guy like Damian Lillard. But I don't think we're going to see a move like that here at the deadline. So keep your eyes peeled for Nurkic and Hart. Maybe they go out there and try to add another piece in here at the wing as well. But they need some consistency. They're going to need some help at the 4 or 5 spot if they move Nurkic. So keep your eyes peeled for one of the most active teams at the deadline here, the Portland Trailblazers. Thank you guys for joining us here at The Upside. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think of the video, what you guys would do if you're the Portland Trailblazers. Which option do you think they're going to go with? Do they get the contract extension done with Jerami Grant during the season? Do they wait till the offseason, give him the max deal after the year? Do they move off of Nurkic's contract? Let us know. Follow us at the Upside Sports Network here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at UpsideSN and on Facebook at the Upside Sports Network. Keep it here to all the latest from around the NBA as we approach the February 9th NBA trade deadline. And remember, we'll be live for you guys all day long on the 9th, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and join us then. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys later.